Afternoon, everyone. Uh, Glad to be back. Glad to wake up this morning and just have some time to myself and time to reflect and burn a little sweet grass, burn a little or have a little meditation and and prayer. Um, and that's something that I do every day and just to start my day off in the best way that I can, in a good way. Um, but but yeah, again, as a quick reminder, I don't come as an expert. I don't come as someone who's judging somebody else. I come as somebody, again, in that quote I left in the Discord, somebody in the same patient room, somebody with the same illness trying to remedy and give remedies to other people and to try to send those on. I think for me, it helps myself and reminds myself to keep these to heart. And, they are just suggestions and, take them as you can, mold them to yourself and your life. But yeah, law number 5, commit to yourself. Um, I'm kind of glad that I took the extra day to kind of reflect. I was in the office the last couple days, but glad that I skipped another day. But this law is a little bit more lengthy than the first four, but it's a one that hits hard to me, hits hard to even my life now currently, and it's commit to yourself. Um, I just want to start off with this quote, and I think it'll summarize what this law is about. To be the best version of yourself is as simple as keeping the promises you make to yourself. So, with that quote in mind, I mean, I think this is hitting me in different direction. I mean, I think you know, uh, it's easier said than done. It's um, when you're keeping promises to yourself to get things done. I'll finish that tomorrow, or I'll finish that later. Obviously, there's reasons for that, and actual legitimate reasons. That could be your health, relationships, whatever it is, like starting a new business or making sure things at work are turned in on time, or seeing your friends in social situations that you should talk to and haven't talked to before, or talking to your family that you haven't talked to in a long time. All those can be examples of, keeping those promises to yourself. And so, when you commit to yourself, and all those things can um, bring about things that if you don't do it, it'll break down your spirit. And really, at the end of the day, the only person you're hurting is yourself. Um, it could bring about things like procrastination, laziness, more rigor, and more intense mental health symptoms. It could bring about more things that isn't good. And so, um, again, we rationalize why we shouldn't fulfill said promises. Currently, I'm sober from alcohol for the last 2.5 years, a little bit more than that. But, um, we always talked about, like, in AA meetings or in therapy sessions, we're always trying to rationalize our addictions, always trying to rationalize with us because we have a disease. And with this disease, it makes us say, you can have just one beer, or you can just hang out with your colleagues, just after, a little happy hour, But we know as sick people that we can't do that. It's not just one beer or two beers, it's going to turn into a 12 pack and, a whole bottle of liquor. And so I know for me that, I'm always trying to rationalize things, and, um, and why I shouldn't do said promises. But actually, there's legitimate reasons for some, but others, it's laziness or procrastination. So, really, again, at the end of the day, there was another quote here. Breaking commitments to yourself weakens the will and conditions the soul to not take yourself seriously. So when we break the commitments to ourselves, it weakens our will, and conditions the soul to not take yourself seriously. And we're only hurting ourselves. There's many things at stake, and it's our own lives. At the end of the day, it's our lives that are at stake. Our everyday lives, um, and it's ourselves that are really just hurting ourselves, to be honest. But there is a solution, um, and but it will cost a small portion of your comfort. And so, with those solutions, I don't want to get too deep into them, but I'm already at the 6 minute mark. But number one, strengthen your will by making and upholding small promises to yourself that you can follow through with immediately. And the second one is if you can do something immediately, don't promise yourself you'll do it later, do it now. And so when I hear those small little solutions, that's a big deal. And, with any big dream or big anything you start, whether going back to school or getting that job that you always wanted to get out of, or, getting a new job or whatever it is, um, any big dream or big decision starts with those small little steps. Um, and as I think about that, I'm kind of reminding my own self of how it works. And it's not just a little something, but these are small practical steps that can help strengthen our spirit and strengthen our own trust in ourselves to get things done. And so, I'm not just spitting the issues that come with your commitment to yourself, but I think these are two ways uh, that we can remedy ourselves to get better and to get things done. So, but thanks again. I appreciate your time, and a little longer video than usual, but I apologize for that. And so, yeah, um, be kind to yourself, be a blessing to others, and have a good day.